Okay, so I'm going to do a quick little video here to show everyone how you can just quickly swap the master and the slave role between your two Sunny Islands. It's not terribly difficult. I'm not going to do it this time, but I'm just going to give everyone kind of the aha moment here. You can see down here we have these terminators here. These are called terminators, and then this line comes out and that goes over to the slave, the current slave. And then we have here, this is the generator start. You can see that he's on relay number 1. We are not using relay number 2 in these solar trailers. And then we also have the battery current sensor and the battery temp sensor there. You can see on the motherboard behind. Okay. So if you were to, let's say your master is acting up and you definitely have issues going on. So what you can do is swap, make this your slave and make your old slave your new master. So in order to do that, you want to kill these off, make sure both devices are completely shut off. And that's fading away. And then this guy over here, he's off already. Now, I already made him the master, so I'm not going to go out of my way to do the entire programming, but I'll turn it on and make him the new slave. So I'll show you how easy this is. When you turn on, it's going to come to the init screen. When it says init, press and hold enter to init. Right there, you press and hold enter. 3 beeps. I'm now in the init mode. Don't get here unless you know what you're doing. And if someone needs help reprogramming their system, reach out to me because I can walk you through this and do it the right way. But anyway, this was the master. I reconfigured it to the master. Now I just want to make him a slave. So I'm just going to say enter. And I say, yes, I want to do a new, I want to go to escape. I want to go to new system. So as you go down here, you have new battery, an emergency charge, start system, and the new system. We're going to do new system. Enter. Say yes. Takes a second. And now it's like, okay, what do you want this guy to be? Well, we want him to be our slave, so we're going to put him back to be our slave. So you hit enter. This guy starts blinking. Now I can say he's slave 1. You can also say slave 2, slave 3, slave 4. Well, actually, there's only 3 slaves. Master, slave 1. We're going to make him slave 1. We hit enter. We say yes, okay. The device is now slave 1. And if you notice, that's it. There's no other settings in here. Because when you're a slave, you get all your configurations from the master. So anyway, I'll say, okay, init slave, yes. Now he's going to come up and say, waiting for master here in a second. Yep, perfect. Now, I did this just so that I could test my temp sensor because my master has a bad temp sensor in it. The circuit board is actually bad. So just as a sanity check, I made the slave the master, plugged in my my temperature sensor and made sure that it was registering properly, and it was. And that's what made me decide to look further into why the master was having a problem with the temp sensor. It's really too bad that SMA doesn't allow any of the SMA devices to be able to report back the battery temp sensor, because that would certainly solve this issue. Whenever you have a bad temp sensor circuit, then you can fix it. Anyway, notice over here, this is the slave. He has, let's see, can I get down underneath here? Oh, it's so hard to get under there. Let's see, let me zoom in right there. You can see that it says communication sync in, right? So all the bottoms are the ins and then the tops are the outs, okay? And then the slave has the 2 terminators in here, which means there's no slave downstream of us, and the master is feeding into the slave. Now, if I ever wanted to swap the master and the slave role, I just have to change this communication around a little bit. So notice here at the master that the out is got the terminator and the in has the terminator, and then, I'm sorry, this is the out, and then the com sync out, let me, if I get underneath, you can see it says com sync out. He is going out to the slave. All I literally have to do is pull him out, pull the terminator out, swap him up here like this, plug him in there, and voila, I just reversed that role. Now this has become the in, and there's no out. And then I have to move my battery current sensor and my battery temp sensor. So this whole thing here pulls out. You can see, you can just pull these guys out, right? It's not that big of a deal. There we go. They pull out, but you have to basically run wires from these and if you have a generator, you need to change the generator. You have to basically run these 2 wires and then these 4 wires. It's kind of a little confusing. I have it down here, but there's the battery current sensor and the battery temp sensor. You just have to run little wires underneath the trays here over to the slave and then hook them onto here. Into the battery current sensor, the battery temp sensor, and of course relay 1 for the generator. That's about it. And then this guy becomes your master. Well, and then you also want to reverse these little communication ports. So this guy would come up from the bottom, up top, and then the terminator down. You just kind of reverse the role of the network. Now, I believe that it doesn't absolutely matter the order of this communication channel, because I've had some slaves come in that were out of order where it was kind of backwards, and it still seemed like it was communicating properly. The most important thing is that one device has an out that goes to the other device's in, but I don't think it necessarily matters if it's master and slave. Anyway, hopefully that was informative to everybody. And then, of course, you have to reprogram your master to become the slave. All right. I just thought that'd be a quick little video so people could see the insides and know something that they could try should their battery temp sensor fail. All right, everyone. Ciao.